ಕವಾಯತಿನಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ಹಾಗೂ 32 ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿಗಳು ಹಾಜರಿದ್ದು ತಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರವೇಶಾಣಿಗೆ ಸಜ್ಜಾಗಿದೆ. ಗೌರವರಕ್ಷೆ ವಂದನಾ ಶಸ್ತ್ರ. ಗೌರವರಕ್ಷೆ ಕೇಳು ಶಸ್ತ್ರ. ಮಾನ್ಯರೇ, ಗೌರವ ಕವಾಯತು ಮುಕ್ತವಾಗಿದ್ದು ನಿರ್ಗಮಿಸಲು ತಮ್ಮ ಅನುಮತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೋರುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಗೌರವ ರಕ್ಷೆ ನಿಕಟ ಕ್ರಮ. ಗೌರವ ರಕ್ಷೆ ಬಗಲ ಶಸ್ತ್ರ. ಗೌರವ ರಕ್ಷೆ ಎರಡಲ್ಲಂತೆ ಎಡಕ್ಕೆ ತಿರುಗಿ. ಗೌರವ ರಕ್ಷೆ ಬಲದಿಂದ ಶೀಘ್ರ ನಡೆ. ಬಲಕ್ಕೆ ನಡೆ.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ
75ನೇ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವದ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ. We have completed 75 years as a republic. These are significant years and we have been on course mostly. But given the distance we have to travel as a republic, these are just the initial years. As we celebrate the completion of 75 years, and as we celebrate the completion of every year as a republic hereafter, we must reflect on the aspirations, values, and caution our founding fathers articulated back when they began the journey for us. They sounded many cautions, and we have to remember every caution so that we do not forget why we started on this journey. On this occasion, ladies and gentlemen, I place before you the caution that Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar spoke when he introduced the motion for passing the Constitution as settled by the Constituent Assembly. Sir said, however good a Constitution may be, it is sure to turn out bad because those who are called to work it happen to be a bad lord. However bad a Constitution may be, it may turn out to be good if those who are called to work it happen to be a good lord. It all depends on who are called to work the Constitution. Sir has told us who are the people who are called upon to work the Constitution. And in his words, ladies and gentlemen, the Constitution can only provide the organs of the state such as the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. The factors on which the working of these organs depends are the people and the political instruments that they set up to carry out their wishes. It is we, the people, who are called upon to work the Constitution. I must say, none is excluded, and each one of us, individually and collectively, must share this responsibility. We are cautioned that if our aspirations are to be realized, we, the people, are crucial. It depends on us. If we do not heed to this caution, the aspirations are put to peril. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, our first president, whose birthday we observe as Advocates' Day, while addressing the Bar Council of India 10 years later, has said that in a democracy, rulers cannot be better than the ruled. If people are wise, wise people will be at the helm. And if people are corrupt, so will be the people at the helm. If we, the people, will have to ensure that we have the necessary timber, the necessary distinct character to realize our aspirations. Even the present-day scholars opine that a written constitution is not to be understood merely as a fundamental law structuring and limiting political powers, but also, I pause, but also as a sacred text of a community of moral and rational individuals. If we go by this thought and our constitutional scheme, we as a community of rational individuals aspire to achieve ideals. And for these ideals, we do not have to look beyond the preamble of our Constitution. The preamble declares that we have come together as a republic to ensure to all citizens justice, social, economical, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, and equality of status and of opportunity. And these are cherished values to promote fraternity, which will assure every citizen dignity and the nation its integrity and unity. The ideals will not be shining stars, an expression used by the Apex Code, if we insist only on our right to better just our station in life. We must be conscious of the corresponding rights of our fellow citizens to have their conditions bettered. The Constitution, therefore, incorporates fraternity as an ideal that we as rational individuals should aspire for. The Supreme Court has said that the concept of fraternity under the Constitution expects every citizen to respect the dignity of the other. Mutual respect is the fulcrum of fraternity that assures dignity. The mutual respect is an acknowledgement of the right of the others. If we take a vow that we shall not receive any that should belong to the other, and we leave this vow, the generations to come will continue the same, so that they do not deny to themselves or to the generation next the privilege that we enjoy. ಸಹಬಾಳ್ವೆ ನಮಗೇನು ಹೊಸದಲ್ಲ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಮನೇಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡುವಂಥ ಪಾಠ. ಸಹಬಾಳ್ವೆ ಸೂತ್ರಗಳು ನಮ್ಗಳಿಗೇನು ಹೊಸದಲ್ಲ. ಬಸವಣ್ಣನವ್ರ ಮಾತು ಕೇಳಿದಂಥ ನಮ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಅದು ಸೂತ್ರಗಳು ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಅನಿಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಕಳಬೇಡ, ಕೊಲಬೇಡ, ಹುಸಿಯ ನುಡಿಯಲೂ ಬೇಡ, ಮುನಿಯಬೇಡ, ಅನ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಅಸಹ್ಯ ಪಡಬೇಡ, ತನ್ನ ಬಣ್ಣಿಸಬೇಡ, ಇದರ ಅಳಿಯಲೂ ಬೇಡ. ಈ ಸೂತ್ರಗಳನ್ನು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿತು ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದರೆ, ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮೈಗೂಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಯಾವ ಸಮಾಜದ ಸದಸ್ಯರುಗಳಾಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಆಸೆ ಪಡ್ತೀವೋ ಆ ಸಮಾಜದತ್ತ ದಾಪುಗಾಲನ್ನಾಗ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ನಂಬಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸ್ತಾ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳು. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.